place where you can go, where there's no one to tell you yes or no. If you just look into your heart, you will find there. That's the place to start. If you take a step and take another again, you'll find a better place to land. I know that it can be there someday. You've been waiting for. I know this life can be that one life you've been dreaming of. Today could be the someday. Today could be the one day. Today could be the someday you've been dreaming of. Today could be the someday. Today could be the one day. Today could be the someday you've been dreaming of. Oh, 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 oh. Today could be the day. Oh, 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 oh. Today could be the day. Open your hands.
24 Ford Explorer Limited, $37,990. 24 Ford Ranger Raptor 4x4, just $56,940. 23 Lincoln Aviator all-wheel drive, $48,993. Rayvon Ford, your hometown team, delivering pre-owned vehicles you can afford.
Well, grab a cup of coffee, my friends. It is Hump Day. You know what that means, right? Mike. Ed Rupp's coming up in just a moment. Happy Wednesday, everybody. What about those storms yesterday? Boy, did they. Now, listen, if you were with me yesterday morning, which most of you are, unless you're new to the platform here this morning, we were talking about how I thought the potential for those storms was being overdone by my in-house model. Remember that? Remember I said that? And I said, well, we'll see how it all plays out, but most models aren't indicating this kind of activity. But my in-house model did, the 3-kilometer Barron model. The high-resolution model that goes out to, I don't know, 48 hours, 72 hours, something like that. But anyways, it actually did exactly what the model thought it was going to do. And we saw those hailstorms because we had cold air aloft. This time of the year, when we get the transition of the colder air aloft to come on in, we can if we tap into that, we typically get some decent amount of hail. And that's exactly what we saw yesterday. All right, I want to take you back outside, or take you outside, I should say, and show you a live look from downtown Clinton in Anderson County. A little bit of fog there up against the foothills, or the hills anyways, with a beautiful sunrise taking shape here this morning. So hopefully you have a chance to get out and enjoy. Now, if you are getting ready to leave, it is definitely cold. It's 42 right now in Alexandria. So it is chilly, and you can see the new format, by the way. The bottom of the screen, we're running through lots of cities. I've got about 25 to 30 more cities to add to this, by the way. But we're going through current conditions, forecast for the day today, and also tomorrow. Hey, by the way, we are going to be previewing. Halloween. We're talking about that the rest of the week and what's in store for the rest of the week, and of course the weekend forecast. But again, if you haven't seen it on social media yet, because I haven't really posted much about it, we are talking about for the potential, anyways, of some much colder air for trick-or-treaters. So I'm going to dive into those details and a quick preview of your Halloween trick-or-treat forecast. We're a long ways away, but we'll get there. All right, let's go ahead and first things first, say good morning to Ed Rupp, shall we? Can't leave him out.
Wait for him. Wait for him. Bam! Now we slide all the way downhill to the weekend. The kids can get ready for school, and Debbie can take her shower.
Well, thank goodness now Debbie can take her weekly shower. Gotta love Ed Rupp, huh? Check out these temperatures around town. Now, it's a little bit warmer in some locations than what we were yesterday morning, but we still have that cooler, drier air that's going to settle its way on in, and that's going to produce a rather cooler than average day ahead of us today. Temperatures are only going to top out in the low to mid, maybe a few pockets of upper 60s across the Southern Valley. Our average high for this time of year is 70 degrees, so we're trending about 5 or so degrees below average. And if you have evening outdoor plans here tonight, you'll need the jackets as we get past sundown. Temperatures drop pretty quickly from 63 to 54 by 8 and down to about 50 degrees by 10 o'clock here tonight. The other side of the story is this post-cold front wind, a good, solid general aviation crosswind practice landing kind of a day. That was a mouthful. I say this a lot because I'm a general aviator myself, and a lot of times when we get these post-cold front of winds, my instructor would be like, we're going to Crossville, because the way the airport's oriented, it's perfect for these kind of post-cold front winds to go practice, which sometimes can be a little scary at times, those crosswind landings when you're coming in sideways and you're getting bumped around and tossed around. But we're talking about a sustained wind about 5 to 15 miles per hour out of the west. Gusts could be upwards of about 20 to 25 miles per hour, maybe a little bit higher in the higher elevations. So this is the setup. There's our cold front all well off to the east, producing some showers across parts of the Northeast and the Great Lakes area. But we have that strong northwesterly flow taking shape, which is ushering in drier air. So dew points are going to drop into the 30s so for the next 2 or 3 days because those dew points come on down before they start to climb. That's going to allow for some chilly mornings, just like this morning. But I think it's going to reinforce itself even more so tomorrow morning, where we're talking mid to upper 30s and a better chance for some maybe a little bit more widespread frost tomorrow morning and maybe even into Friday morning, especially across the Cumberland Plateau, upper East Tennessee, and of course the foothills and Smoky Mountains. But we'll see how it all plays out. So we may get our first bigger batch, or official batch anyways, of some frost here over the next 2 or 3 days. All right, well, the next rainmaker, not necessarily a rainmaker for us, but it is going to pack a punch as it moves its way across the Great Plains. We've been talking about this for the next last couple of days, but we're tracking our next storm system. It's getting ready to push its way into the California area. It's going to produce snow across the Sierras. It's going to produce snow across the Wasatch in Utah. It's going to produce snow into the Colorado Rockies, and then form a strong low-pressure system on the lee side of the Rockies. And look at the rainfall that's going to really pile up from Kansas to Oklahoma, Texas. Most of it's going to be west of the Mississippi, because as we get into our Saturday and Sunday, this has been trending a little bit drier over the last couple of days. And so by Sunday night, we're probably not going to see a ton of rain. So don't cancel any outdoor plans this weekend. We're probably not going to see much in the way of rain. Now, we will have the high clouds hanging out with us, because the storm, as it moves in, those high clouds should give us some great sunsets, some great sunrises. It's kind of a precursor to a storm system moving in. Every time we start to see jet contrails or high clouds, it's typically a sign that the pattern is beginning to change. All right, so that takes us through Sunday. Probably not going to see a whole lot of rainfall. But remember, we do have about a 20% chance or so for rain on Monday and Tuesday. So we add Monday to the mix, and we may see a little bit of activity on Monday. Now we'll go to Tuesday, and it doesn't really change a whole lot. So we're probably not going to see rain on Tuesday. So Monday we'll see some rain probably, and should be on the lighter side at this point of the game. Tuesday we're going to be trending on the drier side. But as we get into, and so you can see how we got a 20 to 30% chance of rain Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, leading up to Halloween, because Halloween's next Friday, not this coming Friday, but a week from Friday. So we're talking about a long ways away. This is why things can change. And I was just giving you a quick little preview. Maybe could see a better batch of rain moving its way through Wednesday, maybe even into early Thursday. Could we see? This is the ensemble model, by the way. This is not a deterministic model. So this is taking a bunch of models in and saying, okay, what are we looking at for some sort of rainfall? So this gives us a better handle on long-range forecasting, generally speaking, temperatures or rainfall or snowfall. You look at the ensembles. All right, so your 7-day forecast, we're going to be trending at or just slightly below average for this time of the year. A nice, solid October weather pattern is on the way. As we get into our Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're going to see the clouds increasing, but probably not going to see a ton of rainfall. Rain should start to increase as we get into our Monday, probably not a ton on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, as I mentioned, we're talking about a little bit more rain. Now let's pick up our timeline. Wednesday, we drop down to about, that should say 67, but no, that's 57 degrees, by the way. But we have a northwesterly flow. This is Halloween day. We're taking a look at 850 millibar temperatures. That's at 5,000 feet in elevation. The reason why we're looking at that is because that gives us a good handle on cold air advection, warm air advection. Do we have warm or cold air moving on in? You look at 850 millibar temperatures. And so this actually has changed a little bit from what I was even showing you on the broadcast or the forecast that I've recorded this morning. But the general idea is there that I think we're going to see a pocket of cooler air that may settle its way on it. So this is just a preview, by the way, because again, we are now, 10 days out from Halloween. But if this colder air comes on in, we potentially could have trick-or-treat temperatures in the 40s. This is saying 40s and maybe low 50s as we start around 5 or 6 o'clock, running through about 9 o'clock at night. So again, we'll kind of see how it all plays out in the coming days. And I know you'll be back here every single day to check back in with me. So that's a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. A lot of nothing, really. I mean, there's really not much going on here over the next couple of days. I want to take it back outside, though. Cool shot of West Knoxville. Don't have a whole lot of fog. Got a little bit of steam fog right there on the lake. You can see that moving just a little bit. But all in all, things are playing out just fine so far, albeit on the chilly side. All right, good morning, Rhonda, Julie. Got Shelby joining us this morning. And by the way, thank you so much for sharing all the photos and videos from yesterday. I posted a lot on social media yesterday just because we saw some decent hail. And those winds were strong and gusty. And there we go, Carol. Get the camel on there. That's what I'm talking about. And this time of the year is also very tricky when it comes to wind, rain, storms, and the changing of the leaves. Now, if you haven't had a chance to get up and check out the fall foliage yet, we got a couple of days to check it out. Oh, Shelby, thanks. Mike, you did. Did you know your live webcams are out? There's only one that works on the app. Yes, I do know that. We're trying to stabilize them. I'm working on getting a new website build. And actually, I'm going to tell you something really cool. With the new website that I'm building, we're going to have a map of East Tennessee where you'll be able to actually go into the map and click on it to find these cameras, and they should be a lot more stable by the time we get there. So bear with me on that one. I should probably just take that link off the app and offline as well, just since not a lot of them are working. I'll try to get some relaunched here throughout the day, but they will be hopefully more stable down the road, and it's going to be a lot more of a better interactivity once this new website gets built. So it should be really cool. Which is my goal, is because as I continue to add more cameras, and we've got another one that's coming up online, it has been installed. I have not told you where that is yet, but it should be a great view when we're talking snow. That 4-letter S word, snow. There we go, Christy. Halloween is usually bad weather and cold. No, it's not. Not even close, my friend. How many Halloweens have we had in the last 20 years that I've been here? I'd have to go back and do the math on it. That we have seen warmer than average temperatures where you're like almost wearing shorts. I would almost kind of prefer that than the colder weather. Makes it a lot more fun for the kids to get out and enjoy and not have to cover up with coats. Good morning, Rebecca. How are you this morning? Joining us from Gatlinburg. I love me some Gatlinburg. I appreciate that, Shelby. Always. Anything that's not working, I appreciate you all telling me, hey, listen, Witcher, it's not working. Well, we will fix it. You know I will. All right. In due time, of course, because I've got just doing some juggling around here. Just doing some juggling. Hey, let's get to work with those national holidays. We'll take it back outside for a second, show you what it looks like from high up in the sky. Anakista here this morning. How about that shot? That's a beautiful one. It's gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. It's gorgeously cold. All right. Can you believe it's already October 22nd? Absolutely crazy, right? All right, so today's October 22nd. We're celebrating birthdays and events. Any birthdays out there, give us a big shout out. Any events coming up? Felicia's always got events to share with us. Let's get that on the screen here. There we go. There we go, Felicia. All right, so she's saying, come to South Knoxville. Let's get that back on the screen. Friday for trick-or-treating. Dogwood Elementary Community has trick-or-treating down to Tipton Avenue, 4 to 6, and Sevier Avenue is Spooky Streets from 5 to 7. Sevier Avenue has some great restaurants and places to enjoy as well while you're doing that. So that should be a lot of fun. Any other events coming on? Felicia's also got one coming up. Saturday is Tales and Trails Festival at Baker Creek, 8:30 to 1, and the Knoxville Creature Gathering in Market Square from 5 to 9 on Saturday. So Saturday should turn out to be a great day. All right, here we go. National Tavern Style Pizza Day. That one deserved the entire applause. I love me some tavern style pizza or some brick oven style pizza. Pizza's just good, plain and simple, right? It's National Make a Dog's Day. All right. Listen, I don't know if we can make a dog's day unless we adopt a dog, but, I will have to say that dogs make our days most days, right? Unless they're pooping in the house. Don't want that. When you're training them, not any fun. But speaking of which, yesterday, remember Stella's been on the broadcast a couple of times. Yesterday was Stella's birthday. Happy birthday, Stella. I can't say that. Happy belated birthday now. Well, we did sing her a happy birthday. My kids did. It's National Medical Assistance Recognition Day. We need you. It's also National Color Day, and it's National Nut Day. We're not talking about me being a nut. Well, maybe we could. But it's National Nut Day. What's your favorite nut? I like cashews. Cashews are good. I'm not much of a peanut guy, but cashews are good. All right, let's go to historical weather events for this date in history. October 22nd, 1989. A storm system moving out of the Gulf of Alaska brought rain to the northern and central Pacific coast region. The snow in some of the mountains of Oregon, with winds gusting to 60 miles per hour along the Oregon coast. 6 cities in Florida also reported record low temperatures for this date, including Tallahassee with a reading of 34 degrees. They probably had a falling iguana alert. They have those, you know, because the iguanas fall out of the trees when it gets too cold. All right, in 1988, a nor'easter swept across the coast of New England. Winds gusted to 75 miles per hour with large waves, high tides, and extensive shoreline flooding. A heavy wet snow blanketed much of eastern New York State, with a foot of snow being reported in Lewis County, wherever that is. All right. In 1987, Yucatan, Alaska surpassed their previous all-time yearly precipitation total of 190 inches. Monthly records were set in June with 17, September of 70, and October of more than 40 inches of rainfall. In 1985, a guest on top of the floor on... Let's try this again. A guest on the top floor of a hotel in Seattle, Washington was seriously injured while talking on the phone when lightning struck. You know, several people are killed each year when lightning travels through the sky and through the telephone wires. Thank goodness for cell phones now. They're not hooked up to those landlines, right? In 1965, the temperature soared to 104 degrees in San Diego, California, which is unusual for sure for Southern Cal. In the midst of a late October heat wave, LA had 10 consecutive days with afternoon highs reaching 100 degrees. And on this date in world history, in 1995, the 50th anniversary of the United Nations, I should say, was marked by a record number of world leaders gathering. In 1962, U.S. President Kennedy went on radio and television to inform the nation about his order to send U.S. forces to blockade Cuba. The blockade was in response to the discovery of the Soviet missiles bases in and on the island. In 1961, Chubby Checker appeared on The Ed Sullivan Show and performed The Twist. In 1954, the Federal Republic of Germany was invited to join the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, also known as NATO. In 1983, the New York Horse Show opened. The National Horse Show was formed by the newly organized National Horse Show Association of America. Seems to be appropriate. And in 1776, the College of New Jersey was officially chartered. It later became known as Princeton. The more you know. Let's take you to downtown Gatlinburg, shall we? Here's downtown Gatlinburg. Nice, quiet, chilly start to the day. By the way, go check out the fall foliage. It is a-changing and starting to change quickly. And you know, it does change pretty quickly. Say what? Top of the morning to you. Garage Gym Jen. Favorite nut? It's you, Mike. Here, this one's for Chris. I don't know if you can hear that. Okay. Cheryl, have a great day. Is cashews that belong to the poison ivy family? Something like that, I think. But cashews are so good. Morning, Chris. The forecast is over. The show's almost over. But better late than never. The more you know. I need that signal. The more you know. All right, let's see if we have any good Witchers pictures. I'm sure we do. Actually, I did not. I glanced at them yesterday. If you want to stick around, you can stick around for some pictures. If not, you can go about your day and make it the best day ever because it's hump day and it's halfway through the work week, which is just kind of nice, wouldn't you say? I had those pretty good hailstorms yesterday. That is for sure. Had some great sunrise shots as well. This is from Tuesday evening, by the way. This is from Kathy. Kathy posting this up on the East Tennessee Weather app. So all these come through with the East Tennessee Weather app, the ones I'm sharing with you right now. This is from Hamlin County Tuesday evening as the sun set. Kenneth also grabbing a great view of our East Tennessee sky in the evening. He says, Hamlin County Tuesday evening. That was Kenneth Latchford. The other one was Kathy. No, that was also Kenneth. I said Kathy. I apologize, Kenneth. That was Kenneth Latchford. Elaine Ombre grabbing a great view of the sky in our beautiful backyard that we call East Tennessee. Can't go wrong with views like that. And Elaine is an amazing photographer, as you hear me say all the time. She also grabbed this one from the Foothills Parkway. So again, not a ton of colors changing so far, but this is the week. And with these nice, crisp, cool nights, or chilly nights, I should say, and these nice, cool afternoons, that's what's going to lead to some amazing color changes here real soon. Real soon, just like this. How about this one? Gotten a little bit of color changing over in Dandridge. That's a great shot there. We've got a nice little sunrise photo as well. These were all just coming through social media. So that one, let's see, one of those is coming from, I usually take screen grabs of everything. This is a nice shot of the hail. Look at all that hail falling. And did you see these? I posted these on social media yesterday too. This is from American Girl with a Cam. She's out of Johnson City. I asked for permission to share these. I was like, can I have permission to share these on my platform? She says, absolutely. How about these shots? Are these not amazing? This one's a cool one too. Isn't that cool? She is a great photographer for sure. Here's some more hail shots. And we had some great sunrise shots as well from yesterday. Those are from yesterday. I'm just going to slap these on the screen. So anywhere from dime to p to penny, and even upwards of nickel-sized hail. How about the sunrise yesterday? That was cool. Here's another great sunrise from yesterday. That's a cool one. I had a chance to go to the Chamber of Commerce yesterday, as many of you know, and as I drove, oh man, look at the sunrise I captured. Whoa, why isn't that coming up bigger? There we go. Well, that's not going to get bigger. But that's the sunrise shot that I took yesterday on my way to Sevier County. How about that? Isn't that cool? Woo! It was a good one. All right. That, my friends, is all the Witcher's pictures that we have for you this morning. So somebody cue the music. Yeah, we're working on it. I've sent them all. Keep sending me the messages through the app itself. I forward those onto the app developers, and they will be fixing it. But a lot of people that are doing what I'm doing are having the same issue. So I apologize, Android users. We will get that fixed here shortly. Bear with me, but let me know of any issues that you have. It's only going to help the platform out. All right, my friends, we'll leave you with a beautiful view of the sunrise this morning from Anderson County as we kind of wrap things up and head off to break. Head off to break or just kind of wrap things up. Krista wants the 80s back. Off to Cherry-Hill Skyway today. Ooh, it's going to be a gorgeous one. I cannot wait to see your photos from the Cherry-Hill Skyway because it is amazing. That's one of the places that really is popping right now. All right, my friends, be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short, as I always say. Thanks so much for joining me this morning. I do appreciate it. And thanks for all the photos and joining me on social media yesterday to really help populate the platform and get the word out of what was going on for some of us, but not all of us. See you back here throughout the day on social media. And of course, tomorrow morning at 7:30 for a Thursday, or better yet, Friday Eve. Wake Up with Witcher. Before we wrap things up, I'm just going to say good morning to Ed Rupp for those of you that may have missed him this morning. There you got him. There he is. All right, we'll see you back here soon.
Wait for him. Wait for him. Bam! Now we slide all the way downhill to the weekend. The kids can get ready for school, and Debbie can take her shot.
This army of sinners forgot to fight for the cause, while the visionaries run a race that's already lost. like it should. So your colors, they start, and it's stripping you